Jai Gurudev, everybody, and welcome again to this satsang here in Vrindavan. So, today we'll share a little bit of the day with you. It was funny. This morning, the police turned out here and asked everybody to go for a checkup. You know, all the people here in the ashram. So we went to the hospital and then they were saying, but do you have a paper from the police? Whether, for what reason are you coming here for checking? But you can see straight away, you know, when we were entering the hospital there, at the entrance itself, they didn't allow us inside. It was really funny. You can see the fear on the face of the people, especially when they see all the white people. My goodness. You see, people have a certain notion in their mind that the virus will see, firstly, your face or your skin color, then they come for you. But no, it comes to everybody equally. They don't see whether you are rich or poor, whether you are white or black, you know, they will come for you. And especially if you have so much fear, they will come for you. But it's sad to see that how people, you know, in certain region, they act upon, you know, in that discrimination way, you know, you can see that clearly, you know. But they say, oh, these people only have that. No, it's not like this, you know. So it would be nice that people realize that, you know, that we are all human beings, firstly, you know, and everybody have a certain limitation to things, you know, and everybody can get it. We have to be here to be ready to help each another, you know. And funny thing is that when we see doctors, you know, which they have vowed to help people, you know, when we see other countries, how the doctors are helping other people, it's amazing. But here you see people are scared. They're not even ready to help you. You know? They all came out and no, we will not help you. And this is very strange, really. But it was funny at the same time. How people react, you know, and out of ignorance, you know. So this was the day today, and well, we're still happy, we're still joyful. That doesn't change our mood to be happy and be positive. So Swami Revati will ask a question. Let's see.
Jai Gurudev Guruji, as we can't possibly know what is best for others, can we simply offer our japa and prayers to your feet and ask you to make the best of them on behalf of others? Or is there a better way to pray for others?
Well, it's true. Very often we presume that we know what is best for other people. In reality, even the person themselves doesn't know what is best for them. You know, very often people ask so many things that make them unhappy. You know, so you can see, you know, that people themselves often doesn't know. That's why it is important just to pray that the will of God be done. So the best way to do that is just to pray for them and leave it to the divine. He knows best what is best for each one of us. So do your japam, do your prayer, and have an intention. Let's see, if you know somebody is suffering, pray for that person. It's not wrong to pray for anybody. You know, you're not doing any harm in praying, in wishing good for somebody. So you are praying, you are doing japam, offering as intentional to the person who need it, and leave it to the divine itself how He wants to grace them. Because you see, very often we have a certain expectation, and due to that expectation, we become unhappy. We said, yes, we have prayed to God, we have prayed to Guruji, but nothing have happened. Why? Because you don't know what is good for that soul of that person. In Bhagavad Gita, chapter 5, verse 22, Lord Krishna said to Arjun, those who come into contact with something which is limited, who pray for something which is limited, they will attain only pain and sorrow. For the wise, they aim for something which is infinite, something which is unlimited. So if we analyze that, coming to that question, Bhagavan Krishna is revealing that often our asking is based on certain limitation. Our mind, our senses can understand only something which is limited. And then when we aim for that limitation, we will be unhappy. We will have sorrow. We will have pain in our life. Because you see, everything which is limited will give you only limited happiness. It's like when you are hungry, okay, even the little bit of food which you eat doesn't give you joy. You're not hungry. But when we are not hungry, the little food itself will be like a pain to eat that food. Now, imagine a lot of food now. It will not make you the same happiness. So you see, from the beginning itself, you find that there is unhappiness into it. And yet, when you take so much food, you aim for so much, you ask for so much, well, you still find unhappiness. You see, it is said that this unhappiness is like a whole which is dressed nicely, beautifying itself, and powdering herself, standing in a dark alley and smiling to a stranger. And it is the same. You see, what will come out of that will be only unhappiness. So, being conscious about what you are praying for, being conscious about your aim, you can always pray for people. You can always send a positive intention to the people, but always leave it to the ultimate reality. Leave it to Guru and God, and have faith that they know best what is good for each one soul itself and each one journey.
This question comes from a 9-year-old. Jai Gurudev Guruji, why were the Kshatriyas in the Mahabharata and in the Ramayana so much bigger and stronger than we are today?
It's a nice question. That question comes from a 9 years old. Interesting. I'm very happy about that child really take great interest into the Ramayana and the Mahabharata, and especially observing that fact that these people who are very strong. Please don't be shocked about me coughing. It's just because of the draft, people were getting paranoid why I'm coughing. They send me messages. It's nothing, Hase. So, why were they strong and very powerful during the time of Ramayana and Mahabharata? You see, when we look at the movies Now, when we read about it, for example, of course, in our mind, we think that they were very great and mighty and very powerful. You know, also very often you will see in the, if the child have watched a cartoon, they will see that they're very robust and very well built, like they have just come out from the gym, you know. But it's true, in that time, their body was very important. How they were looking after the body was very important. And they were very muscle. But beyond that, they were not just muscling the body, they were also muscling the mind. You see, the warfare, how they were being taught into how to fight, was not only the physical. You know, nowadays the difference is that people are very concerned about the physique, and also nowadays it's just a press of button or kata-kata, like with a gun. No. At that time, it was very physical. There were no gun at that time. It's not that you are standing in one place and shoot to the other side. No, they were running physically. You know, when you look at Mahabharata, when you look at Ramayana, they were running. So for them to run, they have to be physically fit. So like that, they were well built and they were well agile in the art of fighting. That's why they are represented very often as very strong figures. This is one thing. Another thing is that you see, in the art of warfare at that time was not only just to go and kill the enemy. Spirituality played a very deep role in their life. For them, their meditation was very important also. Their prayer was very important also. So God was also part of their culture. So for them, it was not just being physically well built, like I said earlier, but mentally also they were well prepared. So they were strong equally in the physical and into the mental. That's why you can see, they had powers, mystical powers, which we see when we see only the main figures in the Mahabharata or Ramayana who have very powerful weapons and all these things, But the small people also, In the Ramayana, the monkeys also were very powerful, who went to war, who was on the side of Ram, and the demons from the side of Ravana, they were equally very powerful beings. So they were not just simple people also. And for them to have that abilities also, they have mastered also their mind through their spiritual practices. Whether it was positive or negative, it doesn't matter. But you can see that they were equally very powerful in the body and into their mind state. That's why you will see that in these, they were very, very strong. When we look at also the Spartans, for example, in the Greek mythology, and the great wars, they were not skinny person who have a little bit of muscle. No, they were well-built people who have been regular training. You see, here you see also that discipline that they have in their life. They would not just sit there and train. In Alexander the Great, his army was not just people who just, now we have to go to war, then let's go and fight. No, it's not like that. They train throughout the day. So the discipline, how they go through that, it's amazing. When we take the army nowadays also, they are also training. We will not say that they are just sitting and not doing anything. I had chances of visiting some places. They do train. But very often, people from the outside doesn't see that. They think that somebody just take a gun and go and fight and protect the country or whatever. No. Daily they have to keep themselves fit. If they don't keep themselves fit, how would they fight? For sure, they have nowadays they don't have the same capacity as how it was before, but the army of each country, is doing really a lot, to safeguard their country. We should not forget about their sacrifice, and what they are doing for protecting the nation. Here in India, people are very peaceful everywhere, except nowadays, right now, because of this virus, nobody can do anything. But throughout centuries, when we look at what the army have done, protecting the border of this country, for the people to be in peaceful, we have to be grateful for them, not only here, but everywhere. This is their duty, and we have to be grateful for in every field, Nowadays, we see all the doctors being busy in the hospital everywhere. We have to be grateful for them also, because they're giving their life for others, and in that maybe they also get contaminated, also get in contact with that virus. So in every field of life, we see that when somebody really dedicate themselves to their dharma, to their duty, they are very strong and very powerful. And I think this what is also a representative, of that. When we are dedicated into what we do, we have that inner strength in ourselves.
Everyone has their unique journey to self-realization and God-realization, but what are some signs or stages that show you are progressing in the right direction and not just falling into more and more delusions?
The sign, you see, if we look for sign, then we are looking only for something which is limited. Like the first question, if we are looking for some sign only, we will become unhappy, because then your whole intention while you are doing your sadhana will be only on focusing, what sign am I having? So if that is your intention, only to look for sign, you will never be happy. So in place of progressing, you will degrade. You will go downward. But if you do your sadhana with wholeheartedly and with joy, forget about the result of it. That's what Lord Krishna said. Do whatever you do, but don't be attached to the result. And if you do that, you will see that you will be the most happiest person, because you are free from a certain delusion. You see, when you have expectation, the mind also can create a lot of delusion. And very often I have noticed that on the spiritual path, people like to run behind delusion. They like to run behind signs. They like to run behind some pity experience. The greatest experience is that joy, when you can really enjoy the divine within your heart. And this is one of the most wonderful experiences. When you can laugh without any reason, you can cry without any reason. These are signs that it is your personal experience. But if you are looking for some light glittering here, or little star flashing here and there, and then take this as sign, these are limited sign only. And if you are looking for limited sign, you will find limited sign. And that limited sign doesn't mean that it will give you that real happiness. It will give you a short-term happiness. And that short-term happiness will be easily forgotten. That's why delusional people, they look for, they interpret sign like this in their own way. And then they go into the delusion, and they like to share this delusion with others. Because you see, when you share your delusion with others, others become, oh wow, how great and wonderful you are. But then you confirm your own delusion. Then are you really happy? No, you will not. You will be happy only for a short time. And once that disappeared, you will need to look for another story, another delusional story to tell the people. Like that, often people go into that. They go from one delusion to the other, but they don't find real happiness. So please, don't look for sign X where, wherever. Just be yourself. Just be happy how you are. Be grateful that you don't even see any sign. Otherwise, you have some problem probably with your vision. So be happy. Like you said, very often people ask me, did you hear from these people or that? I said, no, I never hear from them. As long as you don't hear something from somebody, know that it is a good sign. That they are fine, they are in good health. Because if you will hear from them, that will show that they are not well. So, like that, you see, if you don't perceive any sign or anything, be happy that you are on the right track. But if you start to see some vision, see this and that, maybe you have some problem, So then you should start worrying about. But if Bhagwan wants to give you some sign, really, that sign will be for you personally, It's an experience between you and him. And it is a unique experience. I would not say that, people doesn't experience the divine. Many people, many saints, many non-saints, many great souls or little souls or whatever you want to call, who have built a relationship with God, have had darshan of Bhagwan, have had glimpses of his divinity, But leave it to him to come to you. Leave it to him to manifest himself the way he wants. Don't create it inside of your mind. Your mind is very powerful. It is said that human beings use only 5% of their intelligence. So that 5% that you use, imagine 95% are sleeping. So how much you can do with that 95%? Just imagine one more person, a little bit from that 1%, from let's say from that 5.5% awake. Then a lot of things you can do. But just be who you are, Don't run behind some experience. Feel that joy inside of you. Feel that love that God had put inside of you. He is there, sitting, waiting for you. He is there, knocking at the door of your heart. Search for him there. And let him reveal inside of you. Forget about revealing outside. Let him reveal himself inside of your heart.
Guruji, sometimes it is hard to feel encouraged and motivated to practice because apart from you, I don't see any saintly persons around you who have conquered that ego and that mind. Why has nobody reached the goal around you despite your greatness?
Well, I will not say that there's nobody. There is few of them, but it's not about them, Your focus is on the Guru. You should focus on the Guru. You don't need to focus on the devotee around. And it's true, sometimes when we look at the devotees around, we see that the pride is there, and the ego is still very strong, But you see, as much as you are tuned with the Guru, more you become humble. But if you want to concentrate and see about them, they're still on their journey. Whether they are swamis or rishis or whatever they are, devotees, they're still on the journey. And when the time comes, that grace will be given to them. You see? So it's all about time now. So right now, if one will go and rise, you see, when we look at all the masters, when is a disciple come to the full realization? Often the master keep that realization with himself and give only when it's time to be given. Because you see, if you give that realization to somebody when the master is still alive, the offend what they will do, they will think that they are above the master. And this is one of the greatest aparad, which is offenses that you can make. And that's why realized masters, avatar, all this, they keep that realization. And when once they are ready to leave, they will impart that to whoever is needed. And this is a beautiful example, is Jesus himself. When his disciple was dumb people around him. You know, they were not that very intelligent people, but they were made ready. They have been prepared. But once the master was not here, and they see that they have been humble, they have this humility in themselves, he sent that grace upon them. Like that, all the realized masters know that if they will make one of the disciples come to that fullness of realization, the ego also will come into game. So, and also if the ego arises in that they have not attained to that humility, it can be very dangerous for them. In place of advancing, they will fall down so much that you don't know how many lives they will have to take to achieve to that level again. So it is actually a saving grace that the master hold by not revealing and giving that full realization until they are fully able to handle that. You know, in my life itself, I have tried to give that realization to some of the people, but they were not ready, you know, to handle this, because the ego and the mind is still very active. So that's why masters are very careful about that. Yeah. Okay. Jai Gurudev.